Okay, let me get a sippity. I don't know why I feel nervous. I just don't like doing like these sit down videos. I think because my mind's like racing different ways. But anyways, I've never done an origin video. And you can thank DC because he's the one that talked me into it. I never really thought about doing it. And when he mentioned it, I was like, no one's going to want to watch me blab for 30 minutes. Like, be real. But after talking with DC, he kind of talked me into, like, a lot of people enjoy watching those. And it's kind of nice to document it, you know. So I'm here. So my Juggalo origin story started in, I guess, technically 3rd grade. I met this girl named Alyssa, and we became friends. And I believe it was either like late 3rd grade or it was probably 4th grade. We went on a camping trip, my dad and me, and he was always really cool about like letting me like bring friends with. So 3rd or 4th grade, we go on this camping trip, and I was like, hey, can I bring my new friend Alyssa? And he was like, yeah, whatever. So I bring her. And to set the mood for this, you guys, this was before smartphones. Like, we had cell phones, but they didn't have internet. And I did not have a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone till 6th grade because, like, my parents were divorcing, and I was basically, like, they had divorced, so I was left home alone a lot, and I was to get myself to school by myself, come home by myself, cook by myself, like, do everything by myself. So I got, like, a little track phone for emergencies, but that did not have internet on it either, so keep that in mind. So we're out in the woods, no cell phone service, no cell phones, no internet, no cable, nothing, not even satellite. Like, we had a radio, but it didn't get good signal, okay? So the only thing we had for entertainment was MP3 players, which were huge back then. Huge. Like, you would illegally download songs offline and then convert them into MP3 files. Like, it was a whole business, okay? And if you knew how to do that and your friends didn't, you could get paid to do that shit, okay? Okay, so we had MP3 players, and there was nothing to do, obviously. We were like, hey, let's go for a hike. And it'd be more fun if we switch MP3 players, and I listen to hers, and she listens to mine, and we'll go for a hike. So that's what we did. And the song came on, I.C.P. in my room. And when you're hiking like that in nature, and there's no other distractions, and you listen to music, it's just like this really therapeutic time to like visualize. And I used to enjoy visualizing like what the music video would look like if I directed it, right? So that's basically what I was doing to every song. So I.C.P. in my room came on, and I was like, oh, I'm digging this. And I asked her, I'm like, who the fuck is I.C.P.? So she's like, oh, there's more on there. And so she switches it to like artists and then just plays like I.C.P. on shuffle. And I instantly fall in love. I was like, God, every fucking song is so creative and just vivid imagery in my mind of each song. And I just fell in love with it. And I didn't have money for CDs or anything. So at that time, YouTube was just becoming popular. We were, you know, MSN Messenger was popular. And so we were sending links to each other, me and other Juggalos, of like I.C.P. music videos and songs and, you know, like Juggalo YouTubers like unboxing stuff or whatever, you know. So I'm on MSN Messenger and online chat rooms, and that's kind of where I found other Juggalos, because I lived in a small town that I didn't find my own Juggalo clique yet. So we're sending each other links, and I'm like learning more, and I found Twisted We Don't Die, and I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? Fell in love, all from a YouTube video, and it just kind of like snowballs. And then that was 4th grade. 5th grade, I'm getting into it more. And 6th grade, my parents had separated. Something also to keep in mind is they work opposite shifts. So when one's sleeping, one's at work. That's how it's always been my whole life. So I've always like just been alone. No siblings. Parents were either working or sleeping. And I was just kind of at that rebellious teenage stage, fending for myself. And that kind of added to it because I was able to kind of come and go as I wanted and pretty much get away with a lot that probably shouldn't have happened. So I'm in 6th grade. I get my first Hatchet Man charm. I'm like wearing it every day out of the house so my parents don't see, obviously. Because they're both like, I don't want to say super strict, but like my dad isn't strict, but he's just very old school. Like I wasn't allowed to pierce my ears or dye my hair. And my mom just wasn't understanding, like period. Like it just wouldn't have flied. So I'm sneaking out, hanging out with people I probably shouldn't be, you know, just venturing out, being like a teenager. And I'm meeting some juggalos, but I'm not really like having a clique. You know what I'm saying? Like I've met some, I hung out with some here and there, but we just didn't really vibe. Whether it was like they weren't really into it like I was. So it wasn't like I was better than them. It was just like I thought they were a juggalo, and then like we would like hang out, and it's just like I would find out, oh, they just like a couple songs, like the traditional like boogie woogie and stuff. They weren't really into it like I was. So I always kind of felt like the odd one out, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, just didn't really like find one I vibed with, I guess. And then I want to say it was like late middle school, right before high school, I found like this group of like 5 juggalos. And I'll tell you now, like we don't talk anymore. We're not friends, and I would probably not hang out with them today. But I'm so thankful for them because they took me in. They were like old school juggalos, right? They were all over 18. They all had been like listening to i.c.p for years, and I was a noob, okay? They like took me in. They're like, you're one of us. And it meant so much to me because for the first time I felt like I finally found like a clique that I belonged into. And that's what juggalo means to me. And why it means something so special to me is because in high school, I was always like hanging out with everybody. I wasn't popular, but like people knew me. Like I was hanging out with the nerds. I would hang out with the jocks. I would hang out with the gamers. And then you know, I'd hang out with the juggalos. I'd hang out with the goth kids. I'd hang out with the emo kids. Like I had friends in all different cliques, but I never fit into a clique, if that makes sense. And I tried very many different, obviously I had friends in every clique possible, except for like the preppy cheerleading girly like clique. I never got into that, never had any friends like that. But even like the kids that like did straight A's and like the emo and goth kids I hung out with a lot, obviously. And like I just never fully felt like I fit into that clique. I always felt like I was the odd guy out. Even when I was hanging out with them, I was like the oddball. Like, yeah, they were nice to me. Yeah, we were friends. Yeah, we were hanging out. But I didn't like belong to that group. And that always hurt. That like I had all these friends, but I didn't have that one set of group of friends that I was thriving for so bad. And if you ever watched the TV series Friends or How I Met Your Mother or any of those, even like Full House and stuff, I wanted that so bad as a kid because I was so emotionally lonely. Like it was really bad. I always had friends around me. I always had people to hang out with, but I would still feel lonely, if that makes sense. And then when I kind of was discovering like what it was to be a juggalo and what it was like to actually hang out with juggalos, I finally felt that. I finally felt like I fit in. This is what I am. Like I could never understand like, well, if I'm not goth and I'm not emo, then maybe I'm a nerd, but if I'm not a nerd, maybe I'm this, or maybe I'm that. And like it never like fit me. I could never fit into that cookie cutter shape quite perfectly. There's always like gaps, and with the cookie cutter juggalo, I fit in perfect. And I just like, something just clicked in me, and I was like, this is what I am. Like, this is where I belong, you know? So I hung out with them quite a bit, and I'm really thankful for that, because I got to experience what that felt like, to be myself and not be judged, and be, you know, a juggalo and not looked upon like differently, you know. So then I was really heavy into it, like all through high school, religiously, like, you know, and I couldn't go to any tours because I was under 18. Or any concerts because I was under 18. And then as soon as I graduated high school, me and DC found each other and started dating like right after I turned 18, and we went to the American Psycho tour. And that was my first like concert ever, and my first ICP concert ever. And it was just, I just remember like I couldn't take my eyes off the stage. I seen ICP, I seen Twisted, and I was with this really cute juggalo. And it was just an experience that I can't even put into words. I just remember like not being able to look away. Like Faygo bottles are shooting at you. I got hit with them and I just couldn't look away. And I think that spark of just like love and just like so much emotion kind of got me hooked. And I've just been hooked on concerts ever since. Just the vibes, the music, the emotions, the feels, the people that are there. Like, it's crazy. And one thing that too is crazy. So that group of juggalos that I hung out with, like my first juggalo clique or whatever, we stopped being friends. I won't get into that. But we kind of just like went our own ways. And I moved on and they didn't. So I moved on and I like met new juggalos, I made more friends and was doing things with my life and just moving forward. And I think a couple of them, 2 of them moved away. 1 of them died, and that's kind of what started like the group to kind of just like fall apart, because she committed suicide and we all had kind of different opinions. She had a son that she left behind, and it just kind of tore the group apart. And we all kind of just went our own ways for other reasons. But one of the people from that group were there. And like we said hi to each other and everything. And I mean, you know, it's a little awkward. But it's okay to grow. And you don't have to feel guilty for that, ever. Don't ever let anyone make you feel guilty for growing and moving on with your life. It's okay. And, you know, so that was just such an amazing concert for me. That the high that you get from the concert, you know. And then since then, every gathering I've ever been to, I've been met with just juggalos, like plural, that have just accepted me and taken me in, and like we're homies. Like we've known each other for like 10 years and I've never met them before in my life. It's crazy. And that kind of love is just something I have not seen anywhere else. And everyone, especially like my more conservative family, every time we go up to Detroit, they're like, oh, you're going to Detroit again? I'm like, yeah. They're like get nervous if we're going to like an ICP concert or something. And I'm like, bro, those are like literally the nicest fucking people you will ever meet in your life. They're the outcasts and misfits, the people that other people treat badly, and they're literally like the nicest people you've ever met. Granted, no, not every single juggalo is like an amazing person. There are bad people out there, but I will say, like, with confidence, like at least every concert and gathering I've been to, there's always been at least like one juggalo who's just like, you kind of walk away like, oh, that was really sweet. Like they buy you a drink for free, or you just like strike up a conversation and you're just like, I really like this person. It's sad I'm never gonna see them again. This sucks. But we had a good conversation. I've had that like at every show, every gathering. And I don't know, it's just something I haven't ever found anywhere else. So that is how I found out about ICP, was on my friend's MP3 player, and I have been hooked ever since. And then once I kind of learned about the Juggalo community, I've been hooked ever since. And something else too is like the YouTube community of Juggalos. I, like, as soon as, like, 2005, YouTube comes out, me and my friends are instantly making dumb, stupid, like, stunt videos. Like, the stupidest, like, I literally would not even post it. Like, I would be so embarrassed of that stuff now. Those accounts have been deleted. Don't worry. Like, don't even search for them. They're not there anymore. But we've all always been, like, into YouTube before I even knew there was, like, Juggalo YouTube. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's its whole own community, and it's also amazing. Just the love and the support that most Juggalos give to each other. It's awesome. And I love that, like, people post, like, the seminar that I missed. Juggalos can post that video, and I get to watch that, and I wasn't even there. Like, that's awesome. And then I can post a video that someone else missed out on, and they get to enjoy that. And that sharing and, you know, that love and the supporting each other, like, just the comments like, hey, great video, or, you know, I like this new intro, or keep up the good work, or more of this, or whatever. Like, that support and that love is just awesome. And I get to communicate with Juggalos all over the country now and share videos with each other and experiences and concerts, and it's just really magical. I love YouTube. I've always loved YouTube. I've had many channels, so this channel is not my oldest, but I have been there, trust me, like, from the beginning. And I just haven't left. I've just loved YouTube. And when me and DC got serious and we moved in together, we got, like, an apartment together, and I kind of got him hooked on YouTube too. And so he started watching, like, CD unboxings and stuff. And then he kept talking about wanting to do one. I'm like, you should do it! Do it! And then once he did his first one and started doing them, it was like, it was just really nice because it was such a big part of my life. And then now that he was getting into it, it was something that we could share together. And that's also a really special thing, is being able to do videos together. It's just nice to have another hobby together that we both enjoy. So that's nice, because if he wasn't, like, it would just make things weird, you know, like, it could make things awkward. In the same sense of, like, you see, like, memes and stuff where, like, someone's gaming and neglecting their spouse. I don't have that. Like, if I have to edit a video or whatever, like, DC understands. He doesn't, like, get on me, and I don't get on him for, like, oh, you've been in here for an hour editing, like, you need to come join the family. Like, we both understand. We get it. So, yeah. That's my origin story, I guess. And this is almost at 20 minutes. We're at 17 minutes. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we're going to stop here. Thanks for watching. Good morning, good night, and good afternoon.